Okay, we actually in the part two. Last week was part one of this topic, free will, bechira chofshit. As we said last time, this is the major principle in the Torah. When Hashem gave us the Torah, Hashem gave us commandments. We have 613 commandments, 248 things that you should do, 365 things that you should not do. And if Hashem giving you those commandments and telling you, do this and don't do that, it means that it's in your ability. So we spoke about the beginning of this last week. I will just summarize the thing that we spoke about. We saw the psukim in the Torah, in Sefer Dvarim. ראה נתתי לפניך היום את החיים ואת הטוב, את המוות ואת הרע. Basically, those are the two sides, the positive and the negative. And the Torah called it over here that the positive is life. Life, it doesn't mean what we called life. It means existing forever. Forever. It's not just a temporary life that we have in this world. And for sure, this is the good, hatov. This tov is the ultimate good, not the relative good. And on the other side, of course, is the opposite, the temporary existence, which is the mavet, and the negative, the evil. The Torah continue or repeat how to do it. We talked about this last week. I'm not going to repeat this now. And again, the Torah says, החיים והמוות נתתי לפניך, הברכה והקללה, ובחרת בחיים. And here's the words, ובחרת בחיים, and you should choose life. Meaning, it's in your ability. Of course, Hashem, as the loving creator of the creation, as a father will want that his son will choose right. So he said, "Uvacharta b'chaim." It's a commandment and it's a wish that you will be smart enough to choose the positive, the life. Now, we went through a few psukim in the Rambam, in Hilchos Tshuva. Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva says, in the 5th chapter, רשות לכל אדם נתונה, אם רצה להטות עצמו לדרך טובה ולהיות צדיק, הרשות בידו. So, again, it's a free will. You could, it's in your ability. You could be the good. You could be good and you could be just the opposite of this. It's up to you. Okay. Now, with the last thing that we spoke about last week, that there is no reason or force that force a person to be a righteous or a wicked. It's up to his absolute will. And I will jump to the halakha that the Rambam speaks about this, and he said in halakha bet, אל יעבור במחשבתך דבר זה שאומרים טיפשי אומות העולם, שהקדוש ברוך הוא גוזר על האדם מתחילת בריאתו להיות צדיק או רשע. There is no decree. When a baby is born, there is no, not of course decree of Hashem that he will be this way or that way, not even influence of the stars and the zodiac, and any reason. No, nothing. אלא הוא מעצמו ומדעתו נוטה לאיזה דרך שירצה. It's up to the person. And today I want to just explain more the meaning of mida'ato. Me'atzmo u'mida'ato. Because you have to be a bar da'at. You have to be with the ability to, it's a combination of maturity and ability to choose. That's called da'at. Da'at actually in the depth meaning of it is, as you know, we spoke about it in many other shiurim, that is connection. To be connected. V'adam yada et chava ishto, or that is to be realized the reality around you. So you have to be bar da'at, meaning you have to be with this ability to be connected to the reality. So apparently everyone is like this. Not true. There are 3 exceptions of people who are not b'nei da'at. Someone who is insane, he is insane. So when someone is insane, it could be that he was born like this, or he became insane during the life from a trauma or something. But anyway, right now, he's not connected to reality. So this guy is potter from the Torah Kula. He's not, you cannot give him any obligation because he's not connected. The other thing is someone who was born with defect of can't hear and can't speak. This is the meaning in the Torah, in the Gemara. It says the three exceptions are cheresh, shoteh, vekatan. Cheresh is someone who never was able to hear and never were able to speak. So this person will never be developed to a bar da'at. Therefore, he's the exception. He's part from the entire Torah. Someone who was born healthy and then by accident or by illness become insane also is not bar da'at. The third one is the only one that the time will solve the problem. A little one. Little one meaning under bar mitzvah, bas mitzvah. When a person is under 13, he's part from the entire Torah. A girl until 12. When you become bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, you become obligated in the Torah. So that is essential thing, that basic condition that without it you cannot be commended. But most of the people in the world are b'nei dat, and therefore they are obligated. Okay. Now the Rambam continue in Halacha Gimel and says that this principle called free will, Ikar gadol hu ve'u amud haTorah va'ira. It's a major principle, and this is actually a pillar that the entire Torah and the entire mitzvot are on it. That you could do and not, or could not do, therefore you're free willers. And now he proving this in Halacha Daled. Ilu haya ha'el gozer al ha'adam liot tzadik or rasha. If it was a pre-decree on a person that this person will be tzaddik or will be rasha, there is no point to give the Torah. Ma makom haya lekol haTorah kula. You cannot tell him do this when he is not able, because there is a decree that he will be a wicked. So no points to commend it. So the fact that Hashem commanded us, it means that we are free willers. Now, there is another question. I'm not going to go to it now because it's a whole topic by itself. Maybe it will be one of this series. A very famous question. Okay, Hashem created a man in a way that he is free willer. But Hashem himself knows how this person going to choose? You cannot say no, because Hashem knows everything. So if Hashem knows everything, imagine a baby born right now, right? And this baby going to live in this world 80 years, 120 years. Hashem now, when the baby just in the first day of his life, Hashem knows how he's going to end his life. He's going to be tzaddik or rasha, a righteous or a wicked. Hashem knows. For sure, because he cannot say that Hashem do not know anything, because Hashem is unlimited. So the question is, if Hashem knows that this person going to be, let's say, wicked, he has to be like this, right? So therefore, it's not fair to give him mitzvah when Hashem knows that he's going to be wicked at the end. Or if Hashem knows that he will be a tzaddik, for sure he will not be doing any sins, right? So this is a big question called the Yedi'ah u'Bechira, the knowledge of Hashem versus the free will of a person. And actually, Rabbi Akiva relate to this in a famous Mishnah in Masechet Avod in 4 words. Hakol, Rabbi Akiva says, Hakol tzafui ve'hareshut netuna. Everything known to Hashem, and in the same way, hareshut netuna. There is a free will. So it seems a contradiction, a must-be contradiction that could not be solved. There is an amazing solution to this, but that's a whole topic by itself. We're not going to this now. Let's explain now what Bechira is, what free will is. So I want to move to the words of the Ramchal, and this Ramchal has to be learned really thoroughly. We'll see how much we could cover today. The The Ramchal speaks about this in Derech Hashem. In the first part, Chelek Aleph, Perek Gimel, the third chapter, he says the following. I'm sorry that everything here is in Hebrew. I don't have the translation to English to this written, but I will translate. כבר זכרנו, היות האדם, אותה הבריאה הנבראת להידבק בו יתברך. So, before, in the first chapter, the second chapter, in Derech Hashem, Ramchal explained that the entire world was created in order to create a human being. And the goal of the human being is to be connected to Hashem. In the Kabbalah words, it's called dveikut. There is no way to translate it because devek is to glue. But it's not, of course, it's not literal. Dveikut b'Hashem, it's like devek, a glue that take two separate things and make them one. Of course, we know it in the physical world, right? When you glue two pieces of wood or two pieces of paper, right? When we're talking about dvekut b'Hashem, Hashem is not physical. Now, human being is a combination of a body and a soul. The body, when we talk about dveikut b'Hashem, obviously we are not talking about the physical. We're talking about the things that could be connected, and this is the Hashem is not physical, he's spiritual, or he is not physical. He created in us a neshama, and the neshama, the soul, is not physical, but the neshama is in the body. So this is the problem. The problem is, if a person, a human being, was just the neshama, just the soul, it will be, you could think about, okay, maybe he could be connected to Hashem. But when a person is not just the soul, but the soul inside the body, how this entire package, body and a soul, could be connected to Hashem in a way of dveikut, of glue, quote, quote. So this is the entire job. The entire job of being in this world is to take a physical body and refine it, make it a tool for the soul, and together they could be glued, quote, quote, to Hashem, dveikut b'Hashem. So that's the thing that we should know. Now let's continue here. כבר זכרנו, היות האדם אותה הבריאה נבראת להידבק בו יתברך. So from all the creatures that Hashem created in the world, Adam is the one. Adam, now, right now, there is no differentiation between any human being, Jews or non-Jews. Now he's speaking in general about a human being. והיא, this creature, היא המוטלת בין השלמות והחסרונות, והיכולת בידו לקנות השלמות. So when Hashem created the world, He created a perfect things in the creation and imperfect things. And Hashem put the human being in between those two. So there are a few things. First of all, Hashem created, it's not up to the Adam. Even before Adam came to the picture, before Hashem created Adam in the sixth day of the creation, He created the good things in the world and the not good things in the world. As we said last time, to make the field for the main player, which is going to be created, Adam, to do the free will, right? So in order to have free will, you need two sides. Hashem created those two sides. The other thing is, והיכולת בידו לקנות השלמות. Now, it's not enough that there are the two sides. When Hashem created Adam, He created him in a way that he will have access to those two sides. This is והיכולת בידו לקנות השלמות. He will have access to it, and it's up to him if he will perfect himself, yes or not. והיכולת בידו לקנות השלמות. ואולם צריך שיהיה זה בבחירתו ורצונו. And Ramchal continues and says that this project should be done in the free will of Adam, and he should want, he should want to work on it, to be perfect. Why? Why it should be by his will? כי אילו היה מוכרח במעשיו להיות בוחר על כל פנים בשלמות, לא היה נקרא באמת בעל שלמותו, כי איננו בעליו. We said last time when Hashem created Adam, He didn't create him. He didn't want. Hashem didn't want to create a perfect human being. If He wanted to do it, He could do it easily. He will create the world, create only goodness in the world, not evil. And when you create Adam, Adam will be good because there is no other way, no other option. Hashem did not want to create a perfect, a good person. What Hashem wants? Hashem wants to create a person that He will want to be good. Meaning, if Hashem will not create evil, only good, and He will create Adam, Adam will be good, right? But he will not be Adam. He will be a robot, because that will be the only way. Hashem do not want to create robot. Hashem wants to create Adam. And the meaning of this, why? Why Hashem wants this? Because Hashem wants us to create ourselves. We said that before, that Hashem, the creator of the universe, is a creator. When it says in the Torah that Hashem create Adam in His image, the meaning of it, the same way He is a creator, He creates you as a creator. Question is, what do you have to create? Everything was created already. It's true partially. Everything was created, but one thing that Hashem didn't create. You know what is this? You. You should create yourself. How? By the free will. Okay? כי כיוון שהוכרח, and if it was only one way, כיוון שהוכרח מאחר לקנותו, המקנה הוא בעל שלמותו. If was a cause that everyone would be good, so when I'm good, it's not me who is good. I have no other option. So this reason that I created into, which is the good, this reason is the honor of my goodness. It's not mine. ולא הייתה הכוונה העליונה מתקיימת, because the כוונה העליונה was, Hashem wanted that we will create ourselves. על כן, הוכרח שיונח הדבר לבחירתו. Therefore, it must be that a person should have a free will, and he should realize the good, realize the evil. The evil has a lot of power of temptation to draw you there. You should realize that the evil is a lie, is not true. Overcome the temptation. Because it's hard, you will have to put an effort. When you put the effort to push the temptation of the evil away, then your connection to the good is active, is not passive. Therefore, you created yourself. על כן הוכרח שיונח הדבר לבחירתו, שתהיה נטייתו שקולה לשני הצדדים ולא מוכרחת לאחד מהם. So, the two sides should look the same. Because they should be equivalent. Because if one of them will be more than the other, again, you do not have any free will, right? So we spoke about this. Be aware of this. It's very deep and very important. In the real reality, there is a huge difference between positive and negative, between the good, the ultimate good, and the evil. What is it? The good exists, really exists. It was before the creation, it will be after the creation. The real goodness is Hashem Himself. The evil was created when Hashem created the world. It was not exist before. And Hashem created this only for the time, the era of the Bechira, of the free will. Therefore, there is a beginning point for the evil to exist, and there is an end point for it to exist when the time of free will be over. Because the time of free will is temporary, it's not the goal. The goal is to give you the reward. The reward will be eternal. But in order to you to be the owner of your reward, you should work. So the work is just the mean. The mean is limited by time. And this is actually the difference between Ha'olam Hazeh and Ha'olam Haba. This world and the world to come. This world is the temporary field in order for you to gain by your free will your level. And when you get it, you will stay with this forever with the reward that you deserve because you worked on it, right? Therefore, the evil is actually a lie because it started and it's going to end. So the existence is not a real existence, but during the time of the free will, it seems like real. So this is the job of the human being, to realize what is the evil. And the evil, again, has a lot of power. Hashem equipped it with a lot of power, which is the temptation. So even though it's a lie, it could sell itself as an alternative to the truth. But, so in your eyes, it could be look the same. But in the real reality, for sure they are not the same. But that's what you have to realize and work on. And this is the בחירה. So, על כן הוכרח שיונח הדבר לבחירתו, שתהיה נטייתו שקולה לשני הצדדים. So the בחירה is when I have a doubt. I don't know, I see two things, they seem the same. For sure it's not the same, because evil is evil and good is good. You could not compare with them. But in my eyes, because of the power of temptation of the evil, it seems attractive. So it seems like equal, right? So netiyato, the tendency of the human being, should be שקולה, equivalent to both sides, ולא מוכרחת לאחת מהם, ויהיה בו כוח הבחירה, לבחור בדעת ובחפץ. Now be aware of דעת and חפץ. After we describe a human being, the two sides, right? The axis, but now we have two more things. Da'at, the human being should be with ability to verify the reality. This is the da'at, to be connected to the reality, to those two sides. And another thing is chefetz. Chefetz is a will or a want. I could, could be aware of things, but I don't want or could not access to them. Therefore, you need da'at and chefetz. בדעת ובחפץ באיזה מהם שירצה. והיכולת גם כן בידו לקנות איזה מהם שירצה. And this is after I know and after I want, now I have to have the ability to really apply what I want and gain what I wanted. והיכולת בידו גם כן לקנות איזה מהם שירצה, to gain it. על כן נברא האדם ביצר טוב וביצר רע, והבחירה בידו להטות את עצמו לצד שהוא רוצה. Therefore Hashem created Adam with a tendency or attracted to the good or to the evil, and give him, the human being, the choice, what do you want to gain for yourself. Now, he continues and says, ואולם, להיות הדבר הזה נשלם כראוי, this project, in order for it to be really practical, גזרה החוכמה העליונה שיהיה אדם מורכב משני הפכים. And now, he goes now and focus on the human being himself. So we understand the things that he spoke about before, the two sides, right? The knowledge, the want, the ability to apply, right? Now he go deeper and go to the human being himself. Therefore, he says the following, גזרה החוכמה העליונה, it's a decree or a decision of Hashem, שיהיה אדם מורכב משני חלקים. דהיינו, מנשמה שכלית וזכה וגוף ארצי ואפור, שכל אחד מהם ייתה בטבע עלי צידו. Inside the human being, there are those two things. A physical body. Physical body is limited by time and space, and it's connected to the physical dimension of the reality around him. But Hashem put also a neshama. The neshama is not from this world. The neshama comes from very higher place, and Hashem put the neshama inside the body. So therefore, in the human being, you have a body who wants to be connected to the physical, but he has also a neshama that wants to be connected to the spiritual, to the real reality. So that's what he says over here. The human being, and another thing that we have to know, that those two, the body and the soul, are just two opposites, complete opposites. Anything that interested the body is not interested the soul. Anything that interested the soul is not interested the body. So there are two opposite things that Hashem combined them together. ותימצא ביניהם מלחמה, and there is a war between them. באופן שאם תגבר הנשמה תתעלה היא ותעלה הגוף עמה, if the soul will win, because you have to understand the following. Usually in a war, you have two sides. This side and the enemy of it, right? So those two sides are actually opposites, and there is a war between them. But what is the problem? They are both me. They are both me. If it's two sides, one hates the other, he wants to kill it, that's it, get rid of it. But here I don't want to get rid, not of my body and not of my soul. But the thing is that my body and my soul pulling me to opposite directions. So I'm tear inside, in between, and what shall I do? What shall I do? So he said here the following in brief, that if it will be a fight, let's say, a conflict, a war about certain issue between the body and the soul. Let me give you an example, because he speaks very general. Imagine that I'm hungry. A person is hungry, sometimes it happens, right? You're hungry, very hungry. Now you have food, but this food is not kosher. Or it's not yours. In order to eat it, you have to be a thief, a stealer. Now, you see the conflict? The body says, I don't care, I'm hungry. Someone else inside of you come to the picture and say, wait, you cannot eat it, it's not kosher. You cannot eat it, it's not yours. You want to be a stealer just to be satisfied? So it will be a fight. Who will win? Depends how much hungry you are. Depends how much a person of value you are. And sometimes this will win, this side, and sometimes this one will win. Now, a person, let's say, take a person of 1 day of free choice. Could be in 1 day, hundreds of situations that you have to decide between the interest of the body and the interest of the soul. And not always one of them constantly will win. Sometimes this win, sometimes this win. At the end of the day, all your decision is you. And the Ramchal explained what happened in both options. There is a war about certain things between the body and the soul, right? In tigbar neshama, let's say the example that I gave. Okay, you have a food. The food is not kosher, but you're hungry. So you're hungry. The body said, but there is some hechsher on it. It's not perfect. But you see, always the lawyers of the body will give you all the reasons why, even though obviously it's not good, why there is a way maybe. But the neshama speaks and says, come on, don't make games. Don't play games over here. It's not kosher, that's it. So imagine it was a fight like this. Could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes between the body and the soul. And then the soul will win. Let's start from the optimistic way. The way he did. באופן שאם תגבר הנשמה, תתעלה היא ותעלה הגוף עמה. So what will be the result at the end? If a person overcome his urge to eat and he said, no, you know what, I'm eating kosher, I'm not going to die now, it's not a pikuach nefesh, so I'll be hungry, but I will not eat non-kosher. So he won. The neshama won. What happened? Not just the neshama now is happy. The benefit is for both, the body and the soul, even though the body in a way is frustrated. But if the neshama is controlling the body, spiritually the body gets to a higher level. And that's what he said over here. שאם תגבר הנשמה תתעלה היא ותעלה הגוף עמה. It will make the because it's not this or this. Both of them is you. So that's called kedushat hachomer. You take the material that by itself has no connection to kedusha, but you give him kedusha by making him behave according to what's right, according to the standards of the neshama. ויהיה אותו אדם המשתלם בשלמות המעוטד. And here he speaks about the ultimate reward that will be in the world to come, that will be each free will, each conflict will be taken account in order to set the level of this person forever for the world to come. ויהיה אותו אדם משתלם בשלמות המעוטד. ואם יניח האדם, and if it will be just the opposite, ואם יניח האדם שינצח בו החומר, what's going to happen? הנה ישפל הגוף, the body will go even lower, ותשפל נשמתו עמו, and the neshama, that the neshama is a pure entity, but because it's connected to the body, if the body will win, the impact will be on the neshama also. The neshama also will pull down by the body. ויהיה אותו אדם בלתי הגון לשלמות, ונדחה ממנו חס ושלום. In very severe cases, you will have no portion in the world to come. even though the soul itself is in the level of eternity. ולאדם הזה, but the same person, יכולת להשפיל חומרו לפני שכלו ונשמתו ולקנות שלמותו כמו שנתבאר. So this is the meaning of the ability. The ability is to take the body and elevate it, or just the opposite, to take the neshama and pull it down. This will make a free willer, real free willer, because it's up to him. But you have to know, there are again consequences. A good consequences if you did good, and just the opposite if you did the opposite. So the Ramchal says that those two, the two sides are the neshama that's pure, Elokai neshama shenatata bi tehorai, and the body. Okay? In the pasuk, if you will go to the pasuk, in the pasuk in the Torah it says, "Vayitzer Hashem Elokim et Adam afar min Adama." This is the body. Vayipach ba'apav nishmat chayim. Those are the two different entities that Hashem combined together in order to create a human being. And by creating the human being in this way, it makes the human being a creature of free will. The Gemara in Kedushin says that, only Adam Arishon, was created combined of those two. Then his wife was separated. The body of Chava was separated from the body of Adam, and Hashem split. That's the way it's explained in Kabbalah books. Hashem split the one neshama that he gave to Adam to two. The male side he left by Adam, and the female side he gave to the Chava, the body of Chava that was separated from the body of Adam. But since then, that was one time. Since then, after Hashem created a female to the male, he told them, Pruvu, I don't have to do this again and again and again to create a new people, new Adams from Ophir. You will do it, but you will do it only in certain level, in the physical level. And that's the meaning of this Gemara in Kiddushin. שלושה שותפים הם באדם, הקדוש ברוך הוא ואביו ואמו. אביו ואמו actually is doing what Hashem did in the first time by taking the dust from earth and build the body of the human being. So our body we get from our parents, the father and the mother, the DNA, and that is the body. The neshama we are not getting from our parents. The neshama we're getting from Hashem. So he is the third partner that give a neshama to each baby. The body of the baby comes from the father and the mother. The neshama comes from Hashem. So here we will just start, because I don't think that we have time now to really cover it. I will start it. It's a long thing. We have to know this very interesting information that everyone should know. Every neshama has 5 stages of existence. Let me explain this. First, let's read it. כל הנשמות נבראו בששת ימי בראשית. This is mentioned in the Medrash. It's actually in the Psukim, but the Midrash explained this. That all the neshamot that will ever be in the world, all of them were created in the 6th day of the creation. But it's more than that. In the Kabbalah it says that when it's written in the pasuk, this pasuk, "Vayitzer Hashem Elokim et Adam afar min Adama vayipach ba'apav nishmat chayim," this is the only neshama that Hashem created. In the neshama of Adam include all the neshamas, all the souls that will be, all of them was part of the neshama of Adam Rishon. Let me just explain it in details. This neshama is a very big neshama, Adam Rishon. When Chava was separated from him physically, as we said, Hashem split this neshama to the male and the female, and now the big neshama is divided to 2. When a baby was born from them, so the physical part of the body come from the father and the mother. The neshama come from this neshama. How? So this is long. I'll try to make it brief, and in different time we have to explain it better. Adam and Chava was created in the 6th day of the creation. They were commanded by Hashem, as everyone knows, not to eat from Etz Hadat Tov Hara, and Hashem told them in advance, if you will eat, you're going to die. The meaning of this, says the Ramban, כי ביום אכולך ממנו מות תמות, at the day that you will eat, you're going to die. It's not that you will literally will die in the same day, but if you will die, you will be, if you will eat, you will be mortal. כי ביום אכולך ממנו מות תמות, if you will eat, you will become mortal. You will become ראוי למות. The meaning of this, that if Adam theoretically will not listen to the Nachash and listen to Hashem, he will never die. Hashem created death as an option if Adam will sin. Okay, he sinned, and it's a pride. But you have to know that theoretically, if Adam will not sin, he will live forever. When, after the sin, Hashem talked to each one of them, why did you do this? So Adam says, because of Chava. Chava said, because of the Nachash. Hashem didn't get those excuses, and each one of them got punished. The Nachash, Al Gechoncha Telech, the Isha, and the Ish. Now, let me quote to you what Hashem says to Adam right after the sin. He said the following. ארורה האדמה בעבורך. I'm not saying the entire thing, but the main thing that I want to relate to. ארורה האדמה בעבורך, בעיצבון תאכלנה כל ימי חייך. The ground will be cursed. You will have very hard time to make food out of the ground. וקוץ ודרדר תצמיח לך, ואכלת את עשב השדה. כי בעיצבון תאכלנה, עד שובך אל האדמה, כי ממנה לוקחת. It will be hard for you to eat from the ground, עד שובך אל האדמה, until you will go back to the ground, because from it you were taken. Right? And then the Torah says another few words. כי עפר אתה ואל עפר תשוב. Because you're dust and you're going to turn to a dust. The question is, what? Why? It's not accurate. כי עפר אתה ואל עפר תשוב. Only part of Adam is עפר. And he says כי עפר אתה. But the body, okay, the body is from the ground. But what about the neshama? What do you mean כי עפר אתה ואל עפר תשוב? What about the neshama? You cannot say that only the body sinned. Because when the neshama and the body together, everything is a package deal, right? So what do you mean ki afarta ve'afarta shuv? Meaning, apparently it's just the body gonna pay the price. So, in the Kabbalah it says that everything that relates to the spiritual dimension of the universe, the Torah mention in hints. So, in the Kabbalah, there is a big thing about it, but in the Kabbalah it's saying the following, that when Adam and Chava eat from Etz Hadat Tovara, with their choice, they damaged the body, their body, and their soul. And their soul. The soul is pure. It could not be really damaged, but it was certain kind of damage. And the mashal, the parable that the Kabbalah bring to this, that the neshama was exploded, the neshama of Adam and Chava, exploded to 1 billion of sparks, called nitzotzot nishmat Adam Arishon, the sparks. If you theoretically take all those sparks and put them together, you will get this big neshama of Adam. Each one of those sparks has certain damage to it. Of course, it's not in the essence of it, because the neshama is pure to be damaged, but there is certain things that need to be cleaned. All those sparks gonna be the souls of all the descendants of Adam and Chava during the history. And when the Gemara says over here, שלושה שותפים הם באדם, הקדוש ברוך הוא ואביו ואמו, הקדוש ברוך הוא decide which spark from the room. There is a big place upstairs in Shamayim. When all those sparks are there, it's called in the Kabbalah Olam HaNeshamot. Olam HaNeshamot, it's a place where all the souls are there. So Hashem decided which spark gonna go when, time-wise in the history, to what kind of parents, which location, everything, And Hashem is the one, and the Zohar says only Hashem knows which souls go to each body. So He's the one. There is no angels that in charge of this. Hashem Himself decides what's neshama going to what body. And the body that Hashem choose for this neshama fit exactly the damage, quote, quote, of the neshama. And Hashem give this spark the best tools. Therefore, our body is different from each other, because each body is exactly fit to serve the ability of this spark, which is this soul, to do the fixing of his part during the history. And this is the meaning of the word tikkun. Tikkun, the tikkun of the purpose. What's the purpose of my life? Everyone has a purpose. The purpose is to fix your part. When all the souls will go through the body during the history and will choose, either by choosing good, they could fix it, or by the events that they're going to be put in, that will be the tikkun of the first initial damage. And when it will be done, then we'll get back to the situation of Adam Rishon before the sin. And there, toward this, the history of the world going. So after all of this, let's explain this. Every neshama, now, what the Medrash says, Kol ha-neshamot nivru b'sheshet yemei bereshit, the meaning is, in the 6th day of the creation, when Hashem put this neshama in Adam. Now, there are 3 basic states to each neshama. State number 1, Kodem heyota baguf. When the neshama is up there, waiting for its time to go into a body. Meaning, this neshama never was in the body of a human being. It's waiting for its time to come down to this world. This is state number 1. State number 2, when the neshama is in the body. It started from the first day of the pregnancy, the time that the neshama put in the body, until the last breath. Until the neshama separate the body. So this is state number 2, and the neshama is inside the body. State number 3, after the neshama separate the body, after 120, the body goes to the grave. The neshama goes again to Olam HaNeshamot, to the place, but not in the same place that she was before. Before, she was in a place, the neshama was in a place that she never was in a body. Now the neshama is after she was in the body, it goes to Olam HaNeshamot. Now, this is very general what I'm saying over here, because there is a lot of other things that we could add to this, because not every neshama goes straight to Olam HaNeshamot and wait it. Now, you know what, let's do it step by step. After the neshama was in the body in state number 2, state number 3 is the neshama going back up, waiting until Tchiyat HaMeitim. Of course, there are situations of reincarnation, Gilgul Neshamot. I'm not talking about those. Those are details. I'm talking about the basic states. So state number 1, before the neshama was in the body. State number 2, when the neshama is in the body. State number 3, after the neshama was in the body. So the neshama did whatever the neshama did. Now it's waiting. Until when? Until an event that's going to happen at the end of the 60,000 years of the history. The neshama was created over here, in the 6th day of the creation. Now we are very close to the end of the 6,000. Before the end of the 6,000, Mashiach should come. Bet HaMikdash going to be rebuilt. Tchiyat HaMeitim going to be occurred. Tchiyat HaMeitim meaning that those souls who were here in the world during the history will come back and enter the same body that they were, and the body will be revived. And the only reason why this is going to happen, it's in order for the neshama to be judged with the body if they both has a portion in the world to come. So after Tchiyat HaMeitim will be a day called Yom Hadin HaGadol VeHaNorah. Yom Hadin HaGadol VeHaNorah will be after Tchiyat HaMeitim, before the end of the 6th millennia, before the end of the 6,000, will be Yom Hadin HaGadol VeHaNorah, and in this day Hashem will decide which neshama that was in the body in this world and now it's in the body because he revived the body. By the way, why he have to revive the body? Because in the judge day, the entire human should be there to be judged. The body and the soul should be there, standing there. So, Yom HaDin HaGadol VaNorah is after Tchiyat HaMeitim, and in this day, Hashem will decide which person will have a portion in the world to come. The world to come will be after the 7th millennia. Will be another 1,000 years over here in between, that it's not this world and not the next world. The next world will start after the end of the 7,000 years of another 1,000 years, which is after the 7th millennia. This world, this 1,000 years are in between this world and the world to come. The world to come is not started with Tchiyat HaMeitim. It's starting actually in the Motzei Shabbat, in the end of the 7th millennia. But then will be no counting anymore. It will be eternity, forever. And anyone who was judged at the end of the 6,000 and found that he is deserved to be in the world to come, this person will be in the world to come, body and soul, because both of them work, both of them going to be rewarded. But it will be a different kind of body, but the body will be refined. It will be the body of Adam HaRishon before the sin. And as we said, if you remember, if Adam will not sin, his body that Hashem created, dust from earth, will be forever. That is the place, or that is the state that the body will be. The body will be purified in a way that it could exist forever. And that will be forever. And this is the world to come. Basically, I have to tell you, there is a famous Mishnah. You probably heard about this. Kol Yisrael yesh lahem chelek la'olam haba. Every Jew has a portion in the world to come. Why? Why? Because the Jews are the only one who got the Torah. And the Torah gives us the secret information how to live our life now, here in this world, in a way that the body and the soul in this world could function together in harmony. Anyone who didn't, and this information is very sensitive and very accurate. You cannot guess it. You have to learn it and get it from the Creator Himself. And that happened only to us. And that's why we blessing God. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. He chose only us, and we're blessing Him every day for this, because He gave us the information how in this world, even though we have a physical body that could be like an animal, but if you do the mitzvot, you refine it and make it working with harmony with the soul. So after 120, and after the decision that was going to be made at the Yom HaDin HaGadol VaNorah, basically, in a klal, in a general rule, Kol Yisrael yesh lahem chelek la'olam haba. But it's a general rule, and every rule has exceptions. And in the same Mishnah it says, Ve'elu she'en lahem chelek la'olam haba. There are some Jews that even though they are Jewish, they do not have a portion of the world to come. Go to the Mishnah and see. I'll tell you one of the things. Ha'omer en Torah min hashamayim. Any Jew who is kofer b'Torah, he said, no, the Torah never was given from Hashem. People wrote it. This kind of Jew, if you really believe in this and live like that and died like this, believing this, he will not have a portion in the world to come, even though that he is Jewish. Because Jewish is not, to be a son of a Jew. Judaism is a philosophy, is the Torah, the concept of the Torah. If you deny the Torah, you take yourself away from being Jewish. So there is a list of Jews, but it's not the majority. It's the minority of the minority, because Hashem gives Jews a chance and another chance, and this is the thing of Gilgul Neshamot, reincarnation. Even if in one time life the person was not behaving right, Hashem giving him sometimes another chance. At the end of it, the minority of Jews will not have the portion of the world to come, but every other one will have. You know what? Let me just add to this, and with this we'll conclude today. State number 4 is Tchiyat HaMeitim. Tchiyat HaMeitim will be before the end of the 6th millennium. So the neshama will come back from where the neshama is after it separates the body, after a person passed away, died. The neshama will come back, the body will be revived, and that will be the last moments, the last period, the last time of the 6 millennia. So the neshama now again in this world, but in different time and in different state. This is state number 4. It's still not the world to come. The world to come going to be only in the end of the 7 millennia and on, right? This is Olam Haba. So those are the 5 states of the neshama. Now, let's go back to the Mishnah. The Mishnah says, Kol Yisrael yesh lehem chelek la'olam haba. What is chelek? A portion. A portion. So even though you will be there, not everyone will be the same. Everyone will have their own portion. And what is the portion? How do you gain the portion? How much mitzvot you did in this world. This is your portion. Meaning you have to gain your reward. It means all the good decisions that you made, this is your portion, and actually this is you for the world to come forever. That's why being in this world is so important. Because there is no way to go there without going through here. And through here meaning the time that Hashem gave us, since we were bar mitzvah, bat mitzvah, until Hashem will take or separate back the body and the soul. Until then you have time. This time is precious, because in every moment you could gain another level. And no one could take it from you, and that will be your portion in the world to time. If you waste the time, and of course, chas v'shalom, if you did just the opposite, you did something to ruin, you're wasting the ability to gain your portion in the world to come. So Hashem will help all of us that after we learn all of this, it will penetrate our brain and our heart, and will influence us to be better and to be good. And this is this part 2. There are more. Be'ezrat Hashem, in the weeks to come, we'll continue in this series of the free will. Just 1 minute.